Let's talk about commodities then, and there is a bit of again coming back into that space. Also, if you look at the gold and silver prices, that one is trading at around 1 week highs. You have seen support coming into the markets, especially since the US data hasn't been as much up to the mark or as per the street expectations. So on your screen, 0.3% of a gain coming in for both global gold and silver prices. The energy space is also gained ahead of the US weekly inventory numbers. You also have seen some strength continue for the base metal prices. The data from Germany has been positive. There have been reports that China perhaps is going to put in some funds into the property sector, and that's supported the space. To talk more about the commodities then, let's get on board Renisha Chenani. She's commodity analyst at Edelweiss and joins us live on the show. Renisha, hi, welcome. First of all, in case of the precious metal space, the kind of support that we are seeing, how would you want to track that?
Hi Manisha, good afternoon. If you talk about precious metal, I think prices are only supported at the domestic front, but internationally we have seen that trend is still down, and psychologically the gold has been trading below $1,300. And I see, like, unless there is a serious unrest in any part of the world, I don't believe there is a great deal of mileage coming up on the upside. And I think we will be pretty much in a range-bound manner in coming days. And market continues to tap this geopolitical developments in the Middle East and Ukraine side. And as there is no fresh news coming in from there, so there is lack of safe haven buying. I think we are heading downwards now, and if we talk about domestic levels, if prices sustain below 28,000 today, selling could be initiated for the targets of 27,750 and 27,800. Stop loss could be kept at 28,150. And on international price front, I think 1280 and 1270 is a downward support that prices could catch up today and tomorrow. So I think that levels could be watched for.
Renisha, how would you also look at the energy space? Because while the geopolitical concerns are still there, we haven't seen them impacting the supplies. The markets also are perhaps watching out for the weekly inventory numbers, where there is an expectation of a decline in inventories this time for crude and gasoline. That really seems to be pushing the prices higher.
Yeah, you rightly said, Manisha, prices of oil are still struggling below $100, and market participants have priced in the fact that global supply side equation remains well comfortable, notwithstanding the deteriorating geopolitical situation across the world. And as you said rightly, that inventories are expected to decline this week. But if you look at overall inventories, they have been rising continuously from past few years, and still it's at multi-years high. So I think that is going to weigh on the prices. My view would be still on the sell-on release. If prices sustain below 6,000 today, selling could be initiated with a stop loss of 6,100, and I think we could see levels like 5,850, 5,900 in 1 or 2 days.
What's your sense also coming in for the natural gas prices? Because the last 2-3 weeks have seen declines coming in, but we seem to be looking at some stability right now. Do you see an upswing coming in for prices, or would you still want to sell on rallies?
I think natural gas prices are oversold, and they have been forming base from past 1 week or so. And I think short-term bottom has been made around 224 kind of levels. And if prices sustain above 235 today, buying could be in fact initiated with a stop loss of 232, and we could see pricing heading towards 240 kind of levels. There could be a small bounce back that could be seen in the prices. So I would play long in natural gas for a day or two kind of positions.
Let's talk about the base metal sector as well, and there is some buying rebound coming in for that one, Renisha, especially in case of copper and zinc. How would you look at these metals, especially with the fact that the data has been quite good from most of the consuming countries?
Yes, base metal prices have been supported due to the positive data that have been positive on the base metal side. But today's China's PMI numbers, that is market PMI that was released, has come in at 50 level, and it is at lowest reading from 2005 kind of levels, and the last month's reading was 53. So this suggests that there is somewhat contraction in activity in China. But I think the base metal prices are still, the underlying tone is still firm, and I think this substantial uptrend would continue for the entire pack, considering the fact that there is a substantial quantum of supply curtailment in various metals this year. For instance, if we talk about zinc, we know that zinc mine closure are slated for this year and next year as well. Talking about aluminium, there also it is benefiting from the curtailment of global output. So overall, I think base metal pack still upside momentum is left. Copper also still looks riding the rally of other base metals. So copper, zinc and aluminium are the favorite ones of mine, where I think upside rally would be more compared to others. And nickel and lead would somewhat lag behind. So even for today, if copper is coming down towards 436 kind of levels, buying could be initiated with the stop loss of 433, and targets could be seen like 440 within a day or two. And even zinc looks to be bought around 145 kind of levels with the stop loss of 143, and targets would be 148.
Point taken, Anisha. Thank you so much for joining us with your strategies. That is the view coming in from Edelweiss. They're selling into gold, silver and crude, but a buy in copper and zinc is how they would want to trade the metals today. With that, it's wrap on the FNO show. Thank you for watching.